Hi everyone. So I wanted to do this video. I don't think I've really talked about my process as far as publishing and stuff like that. So um, I guess this is really for, excuse me, I just did a few readings, so I'm going to be putting away my cards while I'm talking to you. Um, when it comes to like being a publisher or publishing your book, so I obviously went the route of self-publishing. People have asked, I've had people tell me, oh my gosh, I want to self-publish. I don't know how. So let me tell you guys about what I do, how I do it. I write my book, right? While I'm writing my book, I really don't focus too much on spelling, punctuation, sentence structure, things like that. When it comes to the first draft, my first thing is getting it down on paper, right? I like to use Open Office. It's basically the free version of Microsoft Office. I love it. What am I doing? What I do is I write it in Open Office, and when I'm done with the book, I actually import it to Google Docs to do my first edit. So my first edit is punctuation, spelling, sentence structure. I signed up for a year of Quillbot. Now I signed up, which is similar to Grammarly, sort of. I like it actually better. When I purchased the year, it was $60 for the year, but that was in the end of December. They were having like a Black Friday type of sale. But I think it's normally $150. There's also another editor called Hemingway editor. That's $150 for the year. I heard it was really good. I was wanting to do that, but I was like, oh, $150 a year, and you have to pay for the year. It's not like you can pay monthly. So I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that because it's a lot of money, especially like with me. I am, I'm a single mom. I don't really have a job. I'm being financially supported by someone else. So I can't just like spend the money. So basically what I did is in the beginning, I installed Grammarly on my, on Google Docs. And every time Grammarly will let you fix punctuation and spelling errors for free, but when it comes to sentence structure, you have to pay. So every time it would flag a sentence, it'll flag it yellow, and I'm like, okay, it means that this sentence should be structured differently. So then I'll structure it differently and see what Grammarly says. So it's kind of like a trial and error. And then when I got Quillbot, I let Quillbot do it. But when I'm doing the first round, it's really important, especially when it comes to what it wants to fix. So like it will, in the corner, if you open the Quillbot Assistant, it will show you what you wrote and what it wants to change it to you too. So what I found was not all the time did I want to change it to what Quillbot was wanting, because I was like, that doesn't make any sense. So, I would go through the whole document, change what needed to be changed. Another great tip that I found out, when you're doing the first round of editing, read it out loud to yourself, because it's going to sound different when you write it down versus when you read it. When you read it out loud to yourself, that's when you're going to hear the problems in it. At least that's for me, and yeah, especially like for me, Project Synthgrave, it has almost 40 chapters. It's going to be over 300 pages because I'm only going to do 8.5 by 5.5. So reading it out loud is going to be like, oh my God, it's going to take forever. But it's really important because you'll be able to hear the problems, right? And also it's going to say, oh, change this sentence to this. And again, sometimes you're going to want to, sometimes you're like, no, it's not going to sound right. So then don't do it. Okay, so once I get my first round of editing done, that's when I send it off to my beta reader. My beta reader, she's fantastic. She does some developmental editing. So basically, I send it to her. I pay for the full report. So I believe up to 10,000 words, she charges $25. But I have like 90,000 words. So I'm paying $75. But she takes care of all the plot holes, all of the issues that a reader would find in my, and so she does the most amazing job. Her name is Maya. She's fantastic. I love her. To me, it's worth it. Okay. And so I'll pay her, and then she'll send me a nice report, and I'll fix everything that she put. And then after I do that, I do a second round of editing to make sure it's smooth. Okay. And then once that's done, that's when I format. And that's what I really love about OpenOffice. It will change the page size to whatever it is that you want. So like I said, my books are 8.5 by 9.5. So it will change the structure of it to fit an 8.5 by 9.5 book. And then you can change like the layout, like you know how when you open a book, right? When you open a book like this, you have the spine, and then it kind of goes in, right? Like this. So this has to be moved out this way, and this has to be moved out that way. So it's not caught in the center, in the gutter. Is that what I don't know. But it'll do that for you. Personally, I don't do it because when I go into KDP and I check the layout of my book, it's funky. So I just leave it in the center. But yeah, I format it. I do the chapter headings, the front matter, the back matter. Basically, I get my book ready to be sent to KDP. And I also upload it to KDP and look at the how it looks. And if it looks good, then I'm like, okay, that's when I send it off to my cover artist, Tayab. He's amazing. He did the cover for the Heartkeeper's Code. That came out of his brain. I did not send him that idea. He did it out of his own brain, and he did a bang up job. So I'm actually taking the image I originally sent him for inspiration, and I'm using that on Project Synthgrave. But yeah, I send it to him, and you know, because he needs not only an inspiration for the cover, but the number of pages. And I made a mistake with the Heartkeeper's Code because I sent him the wrong number of pages, and I had to go through this whole rigmarole of having him, change it. So I wait until my manuscript is published ready, and then I send him all the information he needs. And then once he sends me the cover, I upload it to KDP to make sure the cover fits. And if it fits, I'm like, bang up job. I upload the cover. I check it in the preview again, and I publish. Typically, how much does it cost for me to self-publish? So it costs me, in this case, I think it's going to be $60 a year. I'm gonna say $150 a year for editing software. About $75 for each book, as far as what's it called? As far as my beta reader, $75. And then my cover is usually about $35, $40 for him to do my cover. So that's what, 7, 11, $250, $260. So yeah. Again, the editor is $150 for the year, so I'm not going to count that. So it's going to cost me about $120 per book to publish. So that was what I spend and how I publish my book. I hope it helped. I would appreciate any comments, concerns, questions, testimonials. Thank you guys for watching my channel, and thank you guys for following me. I hope that you enjoy my writing, because I love doing it.